All right, let's do this. So we'll start it off with nice meeting a bunch of we had like 80 plus people at the Traders for a Cause Vancouver. So that was a great turnout. I was happy to meet a bunch of you. Um, and we'll get into the watch list. So, Nicola, I'm not too sure how I feel about this one. Usually I like irregular volume when I'm looking at these multi-day runners. But this has been fairly consistent. Like there's nothing different with this here. I do like this kind of chart pattern where it push, pulls, consolidates, and now it chooses its direction. So this is like a big picture ABCD, and it's getting fairly tight here, but I don't see why this breakout would be any different than any other one. So I'm gonna keep a side eye on it, but not super sure what I want to do with it just yet. Um, I like the look of it. That's just why I'm keeping it on radar. Um, OCGN still holding up, keeping a side eye there. Miso, same kind of idea there, waiting for either 550 to break or 680s to break. Price alerts there. Color, I could see myself getting interested here. If this starts to build over 75, so I don't have a position yet, but I probably look to take a position tomorrow, probably risk towards this 65 over under. And if 75 starts to build, I'd probably scale into that winner, anticipating this 80s break. So this is definitely a main watch going forward here, because you've got this irregular volume, different to the Nicola one, where it's steady. This one has put in its range on abnormal volume, so it's on people's radar. Right now, there's not many people talking about it, so I'd look for an early entry here and then basically sell into the chasers that are buying into the 80s and 90s and look for that dollar push. I would use the same range anticipation as I did on this day when I played that breakout, using this kind of 20 cent range. Here you had about 30 cent range, so I'd be looking for a 20 to 30 cent move, which would take us to that buck 10 area. So definitely a main watch there. Just gonna go down my list, see if there's anything here. Fader, HUBC. This chart interests me here. You can see back here we did something very similar to what happened here. So you get these 1, 2 green days, 1, 2 red days, gap down, and a nice bounce reversal there. So I'd be looking for something similar here, 340s to 460s off of, so a buck 20 off of a $5 move. So here I'd be looking for something similar. Ideally, you can see like volume profile, all the volume was put in up here in that 160s. So I think if we start to bounce here, I think we get this 120, 130 bounce out of it. I'd ideally like if this gaps down quite a bit, like if this gaps down again tomorrow, I'd probably be looking aggressively off the open for an opening range break to set up. If we get like a flat open or slight gap up, I'd be looking for today's lows to hold and then get that bounce back into the 130s. Weeds kind of gave up today with Tilray earnings here in pre-market, and that I think kind of influenced these names here to kind of sell off ACB early pre-market and CGC. They kind of faded quite a bit, so not really watching much of those. MRT was unfortunate here. I only put on about a quarter of what I had borrowed, just in case this was going red here. We had a bit of fail follow through. You had this pull push, VWAP stayed heavy and made like a lower high. So I put some on here and I used highs just as a guide on my starter. Could have risked yesterday's highs as well. I wasn't really positioned much. So PNL wise, I was fine. But I just chose to go tighter risk, and then was going to choose to reattack down the road. And unfortunately, on this rollover, when it actually did go red, I just wasn't at the desk anymore. But nice breakdown here when you get this red move and a retest of red green, and then you get that 30-cent flush into anticipated range, that 4 EMA we like to look at. Unfortunate miss there, but it happens. DXYZ was my main trader here. Put a starter here on in pre-market once pops failed versus red to green. First time going red, we had talked about in yesterday's watch list. I was either looking for a 5-minute candle opening range breakdown or a green to red move, and we got that red move. So it was red here. I saw it here, and I had contemplated pops, but it was still so early in pre-market that this could have easily just kept grinding once market opened. So I wanted to wait till post 9 a.m. So I put it on here, and then off the open, it was still red, so I put some on. Unfortunately, this was only like a 1-to-1 trade for me because off the open, it didn't really set a risk level. It was literally straight down in like one candle. So the only risk level I had in mind was previous day's highs. Up in... I was actually a lot closer than I thought because I was using this one teens. I was like risking way up here. So I guess I could have gone 105. But yeah, I was sized in for like 115 off of 100. So this is only like a 1-to-1 trade, and then I covered into the 4 EMA flush. And if you look here, the 4 EMA lined up with a prior top and prior support. So it was just a nail bail trade for me. I wish the liquidity was a bit better, so it wasn't so thin on the level 2. Spread's a bit tighter, but it is what it is. Nice little single there for me. Wave, first red day here, going from 1 to 4. So plan here, obviously this was support. So plan here for me would be lower the better, and I'd look for a first green day, similar to what we're looking at on HUBC. And last watch here, CNXA. I'd look for a gap up parabolic into this looking left of 74. Draw that line to remember it tomorrow. Nice volume starting to speed up here. Range starting to expand, and now we're into this triple, so it's gone 20 to 60, and usually I like at least 100% for my multi-day runners. You can see volume profile, a lot of volume coming up here in the 57 range. So yeah, it would be higher the better. If this gaps up, I'd love a blow off like pre-market even into the 70s looking left. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just stay patient here, see where the 4 EMA is by market open, and if we've got some range down there. Just being a cheapie, I want to make sure I have enough range to make it worth it. So, yeah, that's my list I've got here. So main watches is probably color, dips for 65 and a 75 build for the 80 break. HUBC week opens for a first green day bounce, and probably CNXA, higher the better, follow through for a first red day down the road. So I think that's it, and I will see you in the room tomorrow morning. Take it easy.